there, I'm Eve and this is Purgatory with Eve. Today we're going to talk about the books that I read in May and some of the books that I'm going to try to read in the month of June. So I've got my reading journal here so I can keep track, and I've also got some of my physical books. So without further ado, these are some of the books that I read in May and a little bit of my thoughts about them. So an honorable mention that I'm going to start out with is Friday Black by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah, and this book was amazing. It's a compilation of short stories, and I touched on it in my last book video, my May video, but I hadn't finished it completely. So I finished it up within the first few days of May, and I loved it. The last few stories were so amazing, and were definitely some of my favorites. So if you like horror, if you like kind of social commentary about race and society, then I think you would like this video, or I think you would like this book. I highly recommend it, and I plan to get a physical copy for myself. I ended up rating it a 5. I rated it 5 stars, so that's how much I loved it. So next, after that, the first full book that I completed in May was Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield, and this was also a horror, I mostly read horror thrillers, so this was also a horror book. It was very well done. It was eerie. So it's about this these wives that are married to each other. They one of them is like a nautical deep diver type person, so her and her crew go under deep down in the sea, and they get trapped down there kind of for a really long time, a few months. And when she comes back, a lot of weird and strange things start happening. Her wife, Miri, is trying to take care of her, but she's also feeling very distant from her. So it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. I gave it 3 stars because it was good and enjoyable to read. I just wanted more. I think that there could have been I wanted more answers, but I just think that there could have been a lot more explored in the book. But it is what it is. I really enjoyed it, and just for context, I gave the plot rating 4 stars and the character rating 3 stars. And I even though that rating may seem low, for me 3 stars is it was enjoyable and I enjoyed it. So next up on the list, I read Mimosa by Archie Bongiovanni. This is a graphic novel, and it was a very nice lighthearted read to cleanse my palate. The drawing style is really cute. The story the ending of the story kind of made me sad, so that kind of sucked, but sad in a good way, sad because of how it can apply to life, not sad in anything the writer did or anything. So this was a really good little palate cleanser of all of the dark, depressing things that I read. So I gave that book 3 stars as well. I gave it a plot rating of 4 and a character rating of 2, and I described it as contemporary graphic novel because it's slice of lifey. So it's about a group of queer 30-something friends that are just trying to balance life with partying and work and kind of trying to stay friends. And it was really a nice read. It just made me sad. Okay, next up, we finally have a physical book. I read Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma, and this has been sitting on my shelf for a few months, so I'm really glad that I finally got around to it. This is a vampire book. I mean, it has vampires in it. I was kind of expecting more vampire stuff, but I wasn't really disappointed, and I'm really excited to read the second one that should be coming out later this year, I think. Also, can we take a minute to appreciate, like, I actually just put the dust cover on for this video because I like it without the dust cover, the dust jacket, because this is beautiful. Like, look at this book. It's so beautiful, like, amazing quality, amazing, like, detail. It's just so good. And I really love, like, it's just beautiful. There's like dark pages. Anyway, so yeah. Immortal Dark, I also gave it 3 stars. Seems like I was on a 3-star kick this month. I gave it 3 stars as my overall rating, 3 stars as my plot rating, and 4 stars as my character rating. And this is a YA thriller. I will say it did not read like YA though, and I really appreciated that. I wouldn't really describe it as horror, but like I said, it was an enjoyable book. I did feel like the only thing I didn't really like about it is it felt like there was just so much added in. It felt like there was a little bit too much going on, but I can understand why, because it kind of plays into the like character development and getting more well-rounded characters and a story. More, I don't know. So I can kind of understand it, but it just felt like a lot. Like, it felt like I was reading like a whole series in one book, which I guess isn't technically a bad thing. But next up, we've got definitely the book of the month. This is the book of the month. I loved it. We've got The Getaway by Lamar Giles, and I absolutely loved this book. It is great, and it is gonna be, I'm gonna recommend it to a lot of people, and I'm already making my partner read it. So of course I gave this book 5 stars. I was teetering between 4 and 5, but like, it's been a week and I'm still considering 5, so I'm just gonna, it's just a 5-star read, okay? I actually didn't finish filling out my reading journal for this. I have my initial entry, but I am actually working on a full review of this book, because I feel like it's completely underrated. So stay tuned for that. That should be out in the next couple of days. So I've been describing it as a cross between like Disney World, kind of like rich people like torture or like oppression, and Scooby-Doo. I don't know. It's weird, but it's so good. It is a YA book, which I didn't know going into it because I typically try to avoid YA, but I quickly got over that. Like, literally the only thing YA about it is the age of the characters, because the writing is awesome. It's phenomenal. I listened to it on audiobook on Libby, and the narrator, oh my gosh, did an amazing job. The main narrator for the character Jay, I'm gonna look up the narrator's name and I'm gonna put it here because I feel really bad not knowing it, but they did an amazing job. The narration was on point from him. And so yeah, this is a good book, and I'm gonna do a full review on it, so stay tuned for that. 5 stars for that. And that's actually all of the books that I got through in the month of May. I did have 2 unfinished books. One I may not finish at all. The other one I plan to finish. It's just that I didn't finish it in time before Libby snatched it away, of course. The first one was Fledgling by Octavia Butler, and I was actually doing a buddy read of this one, and I did not end up finishing it. It made me really uncomfortable, and I kind of feel like it's the reason I'm kind of in a writing slump for the end of May. So yeah, and oh, I actually have it. So I was annotating it, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. And if I do, it's gonna be I'm not gonna pick it up immediately. I'm a little bit more than halfway. I just need a break. It's heavy. So we've got Fledgling by Octavia Butler, and I did not finish this and don't plan to finish it for the foreseeable future, but I will finish it someday. Next up, I started Ain't I a Woman by Bell Hooks. I started that on audiobook, but Libby snatched it away from me before I was done. I'm halfway through the book, about like 48 to 50% through the book. And that is very enlightening. There's a lot of information and just thought-provoking conversation happening in that book, and I really appreciate it, because I always like to try to have like a nonfiction book, like an essay, like kind of styled book in my reading lineup, and I can't wait to get a copy of that again. So those were it for my unfinished books of the month. If you go back to my May video, you can see that I did not read half of what was on my list to read, but a lot of those books are going to roll over to this month, or to the month of June, because I still obviously really want to read them. So that's a perfect time for us to mention what I plan to read in June. I actually got these two books from the library today, and I don't think I'm going to start off with one of these, because this one is a graphic novel. It's called The Horizon by J.H., and I don't know anything about it. I just saw it on the shelf and I picked it up. I liked how it felt. I flipped through it. I saw that it looks kind of eerie, and then I saw that it was horror, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So I will keep you guys posted on this, and if you're not, you can follow me on TikTok, where I do like more little updates. Just it's easier than like shorts on YouTube, even though you can probably find little updates there too. So this is a book that I plan to read. So obviously I'm not doing this in any particular order, because I'm not gonna start off with this. I need something lighthearted right now. I also got Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker, and I'm very excited because this has been all over my TikTok. So I saw it on the shelf and just grabbed it. It looks like a pretty quick read, so we'll see when I get to this, and I have high hopes for this one. I've heard amazing things about it, and I've heard that it's kind of like a unhinged woman type of vibe, which of course I love. Let's see. These are two poetry books that I got from my library a week or so ago that I plan to read. So this one's really cool. It's called In More Black, and it's kind of like half and half, so you can read it either way. Like it's right side up this side, but then you have to flip it to go right side up on this side. And I'm just really excited. It's a really cool like cover and book design, and I'm excited to get into this and see what kinds of poems are in here. And then I've also, and this is by Ty Freedom Ford. And then I've got The Tradition by Jericho Brown. And I remember when I worked at Barnes & Noble, I was stocking the poetry section, and I would like browse Jericho Brown's books all the time. So I'm excited to finally read one fully. So I'm gonna try to work on these two poetry books this month, or in the month of June. It's still May still. It's the last day of May, so still not June. I plan to read, so I have A Certain Hunger by Chelsea Summers, which is one of the books that I was supposed to read last month, or it was one of the books I was supposed to read in the month of May, but I didn't get around to it, so I will definitely be reading it this month because I'm very excited for it, and I've been waiting to read this book, so I will be getting around to this just after I read something less horrific. And I was actually thinking maybe this is a contender for one of my first reads, but it's Triangles by Ellen Hopkins, and I was suggested this book after I made like a TikTok about like YA, like the Crank books and stuff that I used to read as a kid. And somebody said, like, asked me if I'd ever read any of her adult stuff, and I didn't even know she had adult stuff, and this one definitely caught my eye. Seems like there's a lot of drama going on in this one, so Triangles is probably what I will start with next, because I could use more drama and less horror in my life right now, just a little bit. So this is a strong contender for one that I might start off with. These are some other contenders for what I might start off with. First, we've got The Cornered Mouse Dreams of Cheese, and this is actually a book that I was supposed to read last month, or this was a book that I was supposed to read in May, but didn't get around to it. It's a manga, of course, so it will fly by quick, hopefully, typically, and, you know, it'll probably be relatively lighthearted. I don't know. So I'm excited to read this. So I might try to get around to this, but I also have Given, and I've had this one for a while, but I just found this one, the second volume to the series at the library today for $1. So I might finally give this a go, because that feels like a sign that I should start these. So, and I mean, it's probably not lighthearted, but it's not, you know, like the cruelest, most horrific, terrible things happening to people. So, you know, like, I'm just trying to read something that's not that. And so I might give Given a go, because I have 2 of them now, so I'll have like a little bit, like, after I finish the first one, at least I won't have to wait for the second one. So yeah, these are the potential books that I will be maybe reading in the month of June. Hi there, so this is Future Eve. Just giving a little update. I decided I will be reading A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. So that book is a buddy read that I'm doing with my friend Wendy. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that it wasn't too long. I would love to hear what you're reading in the comments, or what you plan to read, or what you did read in the month of May. You know, just literally any conversation I'm up for. So feel free to comment. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Happy reading!